Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Paige here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 5. So The Flash is still on break along with Arrow, with both of those shows returning in around a week and a half from when this video will go up. But we still have stuff to go over in regards to the upcoming episode, so in this video, we will be going over some promo material from episode 15 of The Flash for this season, that being the episode entitled King Shark vs Gorilla Grodd, where of course Savitar will be returning to take on Zoom. Should be an epic battle for the ages. I wonder who will win. Let me know in the comments who you think will, succeed in that battle and reign supreme. But before we go over all that promo stuff, let's go over the synopsis for the episode just to refresh everyone's minds as to, what is going on in this episode, as the synopsis, can give us a bit more context and information to the episode. When Gorilla Grodd attacks Central City, Barry and Team Flash find themselves teaming up with an unexpected ally to defeat King Shark. However, when they hit a snag, they bring in Dr. Tanya Lambden to try to reach the man behind the shark, Shay Lambden. Now, one thing that isn't highlighted directly in the synopsis is that Joe West, played by Jesse L. Martin, will be returning in this episode, which is of course great news. I'm sure we all know why he left the show by now, and to summarize quickly for those that still don't know, Jesse hurt his back in the off season before season 5 started filming. He stuck around on the show for as long as he could, and from memory it was episode 4 where he made his last appearance before going to get surgery and then to recover, and now in episode 15 he is finally back. Obviously we don't know if he will be staying past this season. That is for us to wait and find out, I guess. But it would be surprising if he stuck around due to that issue, but we will discuss stuff around that later on in the video when relevant, thanks to some things in the promo stuff. But let's jump into the promo images we have provided for us from episode 15, and unsurprisingly, a lot of them feature the returning character of Joe West. But we start off by seeing Iris talking to her father, and it definitely looks like they are catching up, maybe having a cup of tea or coffee. Do Americans drink tea that much? I don't know. I just remember being in America and them not having electric kettles, which threw me off. It made me think I had gone back to the 30s or something. Some weird time travel. Anyway, so tea, coffee, hooch, whatever they are drinking, it is being drunk over a conversation where, if I had to make a prediction, it's most likely Iris talking about her newspaper and getting it off the ground, and also going to Cicada's house without telling anyone. Oh, okay, she might leave out that part. But this Joe and Iris conversation continues into jitters, where once again we are having a conversation over a beverage, with Iris looking to be doing some, journalistic work, or at least research. But this time Joe looks much more concerned, whether he is noticing something about Iris, or someone tells him what Iris might have actually, really got up to while he was gone, or maybe, the more likely option, she just tells him. But to be specific, maybe Joe is concerned about her chasing the big stories. As we know, Iris's newspaper wasn't really getting that great feedback the way she was doing it before deciding to go after Cicada solo. Still an interesting choice. But as we know in the real world, you give the people what they want to read. And at this time, this dude called Cicada is the big story. And really diving into anything involving him is risky business, but it's a great reward. So for Iris, it's like, yeah, of course I'm going to do that. But obviously Joe wouldn't be the biggest fan of it. But this is where things take an weird and odd turn, an unexpected turn. Odd's probably the best word to use to describe what is seen next. And that is when we see, well, a place I can't remember seeing for so long this season. Really since the beginning of the season. I'm sure we have seen it since this moment I'm going to reference, but the last time I remember being in this area was back in episode 1 or 2, when Nora comes into Barry's workplace and convinces, him to come along and take on a crime or something like that. And this area is of course the CSI department of Central City Police Department, where Barry should be working fairly consistently, might I say, but we never see him here. But yeah, anyway, we see Joe and Iris here, Iris with a layer of clothing removed, and get your minds out of the gutter, people. But we see Joe giving her some boxing gloves. So is Iris getting ready to take on KSI? Is she the next contender for World Boxing Champion of YouTube? Look, possibly, but sort of unlikely. Now, being serious for a moment, you might be wondering why we are getting random boxing lessons with Iris. Well, I don't know specifically. It seems random to chuck this into the mix. I mean, we got Iris on the right path this season with the journalism stuff in the newspaper, and now we are going to give her Laurel's storyline from season 3 of Arrow. We know that Iris did basic self-defense lessons, or classes, whatever you want to call it. That was mentioned back in season 1 or 2, a previous season at least. That obviously being because her dad was a cop, just like Laurel back on Arrow. Due to her dad being a cop, she just did those lessons as well. Not sure if Laurel was more advanced than Iris. I can't remember specifically. But let's just hope this isn't going to be one of those strange detours we see with characters on TV shows sometimes, where character story is laid out, we know where it's going, and we're heading down that path, and then we just like detour to some random stuff. The Arrowverse has a pretty bad track record of doing this, especially with female characters. Not sure why the writers love doing that. But this might hopefully not be one of those things, as long as Jo does this to sort of protect Iris in the field she is now diving deeper and deeper into. That, of course, being the whole investigative journalism. But even if it is connected, I think we all know this shouldn't be taking up too much time. So hopefully it is just this like one episode, so Iris can actually just go on and reach her goal for the season, rather than punching some bags and making us watch. Now, some of you may have caught on to this, but Jo is sitting in most of the images, and that will be a running theme with the character most likely for the rest of the season, just like it was earlier in the season. Even though Jesse L. Martin got that surgery, a back issue is something that is with you forever. So to avoid any issues and like re-niggling of the injury, they will have him sitting in most scenes most likely. We do have the scene with him giving the gloves to Iris where he is standing up, but that would have been like a weird scene for him to give, you know, the gloves to him, give the gloves to Iris, for him to be like sitting down in that scene, as it does seem like he walks in and gives them to her. So just don't expect too much standing for Jo. Like, get ready for sitting Jo. If there's a scene where he can sit, he will be sitting. In regards to other stuff, we do have a few shots of Star Labs and what's going on in there. We do get a screen with like the Flash and XS suits on there, just the usual like monitoring systems, I think. Barry and Nora will be wearing these new headpiece things this episode to counter Grodd's telepathy power. We did get a sort of a good look at Barry wearing one of them in the trailer for the episode. I don't think it's going to be too much of a surprise if like one or maybe both of those headpieces, you know, malfunction. But obviously, elephant in the room, or the video, or the promo images, there is a lack of King Shark and Gorilla Grodd in the promo images for an episode with those two in the title, but that's due to them being, you know, CGI characters, and 99% of the time, there is never CGI in the promo images unless they provide like actual screenshots from the episode and use them as promo images, which happens very, very, you know, rarely. But we do get a suggestion to their storyline with a sort of like mini crossover with Arrow, that being with Lila Michaels being in the promo images. Obviously, she is the head of Argus, which features heavily on Arrow, you know, since I think since the beginning really, season 2 or 3. Gorilla Grodd and King Shark should both be under Argus supervision. The last we heard of those both characters, that was the case. Obviously, Gorilla Grodd was on Legends of Tomorrow last season, and it was sort of like he got, I think, punched away by Nate Hayward or, you know, Citizen Steel. But then it's like later mentioned, I think in the Time Bureau, that they went and got him and then gave him to Argus, I think it was. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. And then King Shark, he was in last year's crossover at the beginning, and Barry defeats him, and I think we should just assume that he went back to Argus. But Audrey Marie Anderson, who plays Lila Michaels, did post this image on Instagram with her and Zibby Allen, who isn't a relative to Barry Allen, but the actress who will be playing Dr. Tanya Lambden in this episode, who is the wife of Shay Lambden, aka King Shark. Now, this is a new actress. She didn't play Dr. Tanya Lambden back in season 2 when the character first appeared, so they've recast the role. And maybe that's because this time around, Dr. Tanya Lambden will have maybe more emotional stuff, and maybe they just wanted a better actress. Like, no offense to whoever played her in season 2, but maybe Zibby Allen is a more suited actress to what they want to, you know, go for in this episode with the character of Dr. Tanya Lambden. Now, it looks like she will just be the Earth 1 version, but the King Shark that we have on the show and in the Arrowverse at the moment is the Earth 2 version, like Zoom brought him over in season 2. The Earth 1 version of Shay Lambden died of cancer. I wouldn't be too fast if they just retconned this and they just made him that, you know, he's Earth 1 King Shark now. I mean, he's been on Earth 1 for a while. You know, when you're in a country for a while, you just become a citizen of that country. So maybe just make him a citizen of Earth 1. I don't know. But we will have to wait and see what they do here. Maybe they just bring in the Earth 1 Dr. Tanya Lambden just to try and convince this Earth 2 version, like, oh, you can have a normal life and all that. So maybe that's what they're going to do there. But yeah, it does look like King Shark will be the first recipient of the Medicure, or at least be like the first living test of the Medicure, and that will be the reason that he helps Team Flash take down Grodd. So hopefully all that goes well and the cure doesn't backfire and turn him into some weird otherworldly creature, you know, one possibly even worse than being King Shark, because they have cast a real, like, just person to be Shay Lambden, who is Dan Payne. Might be a picture of him on the screen at the moment. So this could be for flashbacks, or it could be for when he actually just, you know, goes from King Shark to being a normal person, he becomes, you know, this actor. So have to wait and see. It wouldn't surprise me if we got some flashbacks, but I'm more leaning towards them just, you know, making King Shark back into a person. I think that's what they're going to do. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comments section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video. Who's going to win, Savitar or Zoom? Are you looking forward to Iris boxing, I guess? Or maybe join the UFC? Is she fighting Conor McGregor? I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, leave all of your opinions down there in the comments section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.